Hello everyone, I am Shreya Kapil from IIPS. So today we are going to study about eucalyptus and cloud computing. So what are we going to learn in this? About eucalyptus, what is the eucalyptus? Its features, its main components, architecture. We're going to focus mainly on the architecture and modes of operation. So what is the eucalyptus? So basically, eucalyptus is the name of a plant, but it has nothing to do with this. We are going to deal with eucalyptus in cloud computing. Cloud computing. Heard this a lot now? So let's understand cloud computing before with an example. Suppose you want to run a small business. Now, business apps are always too expensive. They require a lot of bandwidth, servers, storage, a whole team to run it. And whenever a new version of that app will come out, your system will go down. You have to update your version. Really an headache. So small businesses do not stand any chance. Cloud computing is a better way to run a business. Instead of running your apps yourself, they will run on a shared data center. Just like sending an email, you do not have a to need you don't need a server or storage or a technical team to send an email. You just log in and send an email. That's the power of cloud computing. So Eucalyptus basically provides us the architecture for designing our own private cloud. So Eucalyptus is an open source software. Open source software is something which people can modify and share because its design is publicly accessible. Eucalyptus acronym is Elastic Utility Computing Architecture for linking your programs to useful systems. As I said earlier, Eucalyptus provides us the architecture by which we can create our own private cloud. Now let's talk about the five main components of Eucalyptus architecture. The first one is Cloud Controller, that is CLC. It is the highest level in the architecture among all the components. Basically, it is connected to all the web services and client tools on one side and connected to the rest of the Eucalyptus components on the other side. It is also connected to the storage components. It manages virtual resources. एक क्लाउड पे सिर्फ एक CLC ही प्रेजेंट होता है. So now moving on to the next component of the architecture, it is Walrus. Walrus is for storage purposes. It is equivalent to AWS S3 storage, that is Amazon Web Services simple storage system. It has images, machine images, volume, snapshots. क्यों करता है ये machine images और snapshots को contain? क्योंकि snapshots and machine images are mainly used for creating checkpoints. If there is any disaster occurring in this architecture, you can, and we want to recover that. So these snapshots and machine images will be useful for that recovery purpose. So now the third component is cluster controller. Basically ये front end होता है architecture में. It manages the node controllers. इसके अंदर सारे node controllers होते हैं. And also it communicates with the node controller and CLC simultaneously. Networking को भी manage करता है. So now moving further to the fourth component of the architecture, that is the storage controller SC. I already told you that Walrus is also used for storage purposes, but Walrus is a small part of this storage controller. This is like the EBS in AWS, that is the Amazon Elastic Block Store, which provides the raw block storage. Um, it allows the creation of snapshots, like it's a huge system where we can extract any kind of snapshots checkpoints के लिए. And it also manages the persistent data between the cluster controller and the node controller Walrus के through. Now moving to the fifth component of the architecture, that is the node controller. This is the smallest component when we move to the depth. It manages the lifestyle or life cycle of an instance completely. मतलब अगर एक activity एक node में चल रही है, एक node controller में, so entire lifetime that node will be responsible for that particular activity. And that node will only manage that particular activity. The node controller also interacts with the operating system, hypervisor, and the cluster controller. Now, the sixth and the optional component is the VMware broker. Why is it optional? Because जिसके पास सब्सक्रिप्शन होगा ऑफ दिस यूकलिप्टस आर्किटेक्चर, उन्हीं को ये कंपोनेंट यूज करने का मिलेगा. So now moving further to the most important thing, that is the architecture of eucalyptus. Whenever there is a high demand for high processing and performance, we can blindly use this architecture. Eucalyptus is designed with this really extensible and modular architecture. This diagram seems really complicated, but if you look carefully, this is really easy. So starting from the least level, that is the node controller. As you can see, there are three node controller. But not only three, there can be many node controllers, and these are connected together with a cluster controller, which is further connected to a cloud controller. Also, there is a storage controller present. So these three components, that is the cluster controller, storage controller, and node controllers, forms a cluster A. Similarly, there is a cluster B. Only one cloud controller and one Walrus will be present for a particular cloud. The storage controllers of both the clusters are then connected to the Walrus. The cloud controller and Walrus interacts with the web browser further, and also with the SOAP-based tools and REST-based tools. These are the two API styles that approach the question of data transmission. We have already discussed the components in detail in the previous slide, so hope you understood the architecture. So there are four different services provided by Eucalyptus for designing your private cloud. Number one is network isolation. यहाँ पे instances are isolated at TCP/IP layer 2. So it is a vital role of any layered security approach. Second is elastic IPs. Elastic IP is the static IP address for dynamic cloud computing. The third one is security group. This mechanism is to fire off any instance using IP address or block or allow its functionality. Fourth is metadata services. Metadata को store या फिर access करने के लिए जो mechanism होता है, that is provided by metadata services. So the operation modes that we are going to study later are based on these four services, that what mode is using one service or two service or all four services. So there are four modes of operation, and managed mode is the very first mode. It is really complex mode than other three modes because it uses all the four services present. In this, the user will opt to create a large network. It is used when we want to assign private IP addresses to each of the machine. For that, some kind of mechanism has to be created so that each of the VM instances will be mapped to a particular private IP address. For that, first create those devices, obtain the IP addresses from the IP address pool, but before that, one should create different security groups. Managed mode will create these security groups, that is SG1, SG2, and each security group will assign a set of IPs at the time of VM creation. The dynamic host configuration protocol, that is the DHCP server, is used to instantiate the IP addresses to VM instances. So this is the basic idea of managed mode. Now, as I said that it uses all the four services, so network isolation is done by the means of a virtual LAN, that is virtual local area network. It has its own internal VLAN system. If there is any other physical resources that wants to access it, and there should no conflict, that's why the VLAN is present between the cluster controller and node controller. And if there are multiple clusters, then layer 2 VM isolation is done. And जैसे जैसे number clusters के बढ़ते जाएंगे, layer 3 isolation will be done. For the elastic IPs, abundant of IPs is there, and for security group, what it should process and what it should neglect is there, and in metadata it will collect all the facts and fetch the data and keep records of everything. So the second type of operation mode is the virtual null VLAN mode. In this, we do not have any network isolation. It is designed and kept in such a way that no VLAN mechanism is required. No VLAN mechanism matlab, if any activity is going on one virtual machine and the second VM is executing it. So, comes another activity with some higher priority or a critical situation. So, accidentally or intentionally, one can stop the VM execution. So, this is the reason no network isolation is done here. But we can ditch out this by having the access of layer 3. So, the third type of operation mode is system mode. It has the least features and it is the simplest of all the modes. But when we want to assign and private IP, it becomes complicated. First, it has to get some MAC address, that is the medium access control address, which has to be configured to the VM instances and finally get attached to the node controller's bridge port to the device which we are connecting. For example, if it's an Ethernet device, then the node controller's bridge port has to connect to the Ethernet device. Then all the IP assignation will be done. That's why this task becomes really complicated and this mode is kept simple because of this reason. Type of operation mode is the static mode. It is kind of like the system mode, but more features use करता है. So whenever there is any VM instance that takes place or it sees कोई static entry हुई है, then it will statically map those entries into VM directly using the DHCP server, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol server. So if there are subsequent calls for VM creation, then it will directly map next IP address to the static entry table. So that in this way, it has its own set of IP and assigning it one by one or one after the other. So for summing up the operation modes, I have drawn this flow chart. So the very first step is to decide what are the services that the modes are using. If they are using all the four services provided by the Eucalyptus or one or two services provided by the Eucalyptus. So firstly, if it using the Elastic IP and Security Group service and also using the network isolation service and also using the virtual local area network, then it is definitely the managed mode. Now, if it is not using the Elastic IP and security groups, neither using the dynamic host configuration protocol server, then it is definitely the static mode. Now, if it is not using the Elastic IP and security group services and using the dynamic host configuration protocol service, then it is the system mode. Now, if it is using the Elastic IP and security groups and not using the network isolation and not using the DHCP server, then it is the managed no VLAN mode or managed no virtual local area network mode. So that will be all. Thank you.